What's going on YouTube? Mr. Flip coming at you with a tabletop review. You guys can probably already tell where this is going. Yeah, buddy, we are jumping into another swim bait video. And I gotta tell you guys, I have a vacation coming up. I got about 5 days off. And I'm like, you know what? I need to pick up on some of my swim baits, and I really need to get my arson going down. I gotta catch a big striped bass. That's my goal, you guys, for those 5 days that I'm gonna be off, is nothing but swim bait fishing. I'm done sitting out there with anchovies, catching catfish, playing with carp and little crappies. I'm really gonna push those 5 days and really push to get a nice striped bass, you guys. That's my goal. So we shall see if I can conquer that goal. So what I did, you guys, is I ordered up some Savage gears through OKUMA, which is my sponsors, and I really needed some night colors. I already own the Chartreuse, but I accidentally banged it on a rock, so I kind of messed it up. So I want to get, I wanted to get some night fishing swim baits and some lighter colors. I have a buddy who actually caught a 25-pound striped bass on the bone color in this Savage Gear glide swimmer, and the bone color really works very well at night, and so does the Chartreuse. So these are going to be my night baits when I'm fishing out there at night and the water's shallow. I'm able to use these glides because they are a slow sink, but you're able to basically like jerk bait them pretty much to the surface and fish them up on the surface, kind of like a wake bait. Let's go ahead and jump into the specs. I'll show you guys the specs there. There we go. 3D glide swimmer, 205, 20.5 centimeters, 85 grams, slow sink, big glide. Basically, these are running in the 8-inch swim bait category, you guys. And I do got to tell you, Savage Gear really made these baits light. They're not really heavy, you guys, so you can throw these on a medium heavy setup or even a heavy setup. You don't necessarily need the extra heavy to throw these big baits, you guys. And I'll tell you, I really love the glide swimmers for the fact that you can change up the retrieve like consistently. You can do a fast burn without worrying about the bait flipping upside down on you. You can do a slow retrieve with, jerks of the tip and causing, that S-wave or motion, and you can fish it like a jerkbait pretty much. Or you can even just do in the current, you cast it out there and you just let it, roll through the current like so, and you're just jerking it, and it kind of gives it a side motion in the water. So Savage Gear really did an awesome job with these. We're gonna bust these out of the package, that way I can show you what we got. So that is the bone color, as you guys see right in front of you right now, and then here is the Chartreuse. I really like the Chartreuse a lot. I've never really fished the bone color or owned the bone color until now. You'll see why I like the Chartreuse so much. At night, this thing is bright in the water, you guys. When you're waking that up on the top of the surface, you can see this thing like far away. I'm telling you, that green and the basic Chartreuse coloring on this swim bait, it really pops. You can really see it. And them striped bass humming on these things. I'll tell you guys what. You do have a split ring on the tip here. That helps you add in some action with the glide. You don't necessarily need that, but I personally love the fact that Savage Gear adds that split ring on the tip. These are strong split rings, so you do not have to worry about them bending out. They have 1/0, from what I'm understanding, 1/0 hooks, and these are very durable, strong hooks. However, a lot of you guys know I got picked up by Trapper Tackle, so I did order me some 1/0 Trapper Tackle hooks, and I will be placing those on the swim baits. I don't think it's going to change up the action, but if it does, it's not hard for me to change the hooks back. But you do not need to worry about changing out your hooks with Savage Gear. Their hooks are very strong and thick. So yeah, you can see the Chartreuse color here. It has like a foil base finish to it. So you can see it's kind of got that rainbow color, as you're seeing glistening off the light. It's not necessarily rainbow. It really isn't. You're just getting that reflection from the lighting. This thing really pops at night, you guys. And then we have the bone color, basic, just standard bone color. And you can see, oh, that's one thing I wanted to show you too. Let's check out the Chartreuse's eyes, you guys. the eyes are insane on this thing. I love it how it looks. It's so freaking cool. I don't know how they managed to do that. It's like a marbling type eye, or I don't even know how they did it, but the coloring in the Chartreuse's eye is freaking awesome, you guys. It looks so cool. Jumping into the bone color, it's just basically your standard bone, but it's a bright color. So fishing this at night, you know, under low light situations, or fishing, you know, in an area where there's hangover lights, this, you know, this is the go-to color, you guys. It really is. You can see the eyes are different on this. It's not, it don't have the Chartreuse color, of course, but they still have a pretty phenomenal look on the eyes, which pops out that realisticness. And then basically the same thing on the front. You got the split ring. You got a little bit of pink on the chin area. And then you got a see-through tail on this one. On the Chartreuse, you got like the yellow tail with the black tip, and so on and so forth. In the Trout Pattern, you will get a feathered rear tail. I don't have my my trout color on me right now. It's actually in the tackle box, but I don't know if they're still doing it, but Savage Gear used to put the feathering on the rear tail, or the rear hook, excuse me. And I really like the fact that, you know, putting the feathers on the hook, because it helps, you know, cause a lot more attention, and it gives that fish something to, you know, hum in on pretty much. So there you go, you guys. And as I stated, you don't need a real big heavy setup to throw these. You honestly don't. You can get away, you know, with the medium heavy or a heavy action. You don't have to go that extra heavy rod or anything in that nature to throw these, because Savage Gear did a basic low profile, is what I call it. It's a low profile swim bait, so it's slimmer than your, you know, big bulky swim baits, and they're light. You can hear inside, it does have some rattling to it inside, and I don't know if the bone color has that. I think they all do. Yeah, see, there's some rattling inside there, but it does have a lot of rattling. One thing I really like about these swim baits is, as I stated, you can use them as like a jerk bait. So you can do like a slow retrieve, you know, a slow retrieve, and then you can twitch, and then you're getting not just the action, but you're also getting some of that rattling coming out of that. And so, you know, those fish that are down deep, you know, they have something to hum in on, basically drawing in their attention. So, yeah, buddy, as I stated, we have a 5-day vacation coming up, and we are going to go nothing but swim bait, you guys. I might do some trophy fishing or what have you, but I want to catch a double digit for 2018. That's my goal. I know the year is still young, but I want to break, you know, start breaking in this year with some really good quality fish. And honestly, Savage Gear is the way to go when you want to throw that lower profile, you know, glide bait, something that you can basically fish without having a real heavy setup. I've already mentioned that a million times in this video. I can't stress it enough to you guys. If you want to throw swim baits, go with the Savage Gear. You can go the 8-inch, you guys. They also have a 6-inch glide, but I personally like the bigger baits. So one thing I want to mention as well, as I probably already mentioned in the video, is when you're fishing in low tide, like a low system river or what have you, you can throw these Savage Gears out there. You guys keep your rod tip high, and you can basically fish these like a wake bait. I've done it many times, and it draws in fish. My personal best before I hit the 15, and then before I hit the 31-pound striped bass, it was, I think, a 14-pound striped bass that I hit. You know, I was out there waking the Chartreuse color out there, and then it drawed that fish pretty much all the way up to my feet, and me and Kanan seen it. Then we ended up running back to the vehicle and pulling out some wake baits that, you know, were pretty much subsurface wake baits. And then I ended up catching my personal best. But that's how I was fishing this, because the water system was so low, I didn't want to hit bottom. I was pretty much keeping my rod tip up high and just basically waking that right off the top of the water. So, I guess that pretty much sums it up from here. I don't want to jibber jab anymore. Stay tuned, you guys. Woo-wee. This vacation coming up, we are definitely going to be trying to hammer some big striped bass. Fingers crossed we can get it done, so we'll see. Alright, I'm up and out. Much love and respects to you. OKUMA, thank you for all the support that you do. Savage Gear, you make some beautiful, beautiful swim baits, and I really appreciate you guys as well. And I am up and out. Peace.